Let's talk a little bit more about some Montreal Canadiens prospects. This time I wanted to talk about Ryan Poehling. He's a guy that a lot of people are aware of because he did have that absolutely phenomenal debut with the Montreal Canadiens for one game, and right now, Ryan Poehling is really somebody who is just a big question mark in the organization and the prospect pool and the projections and everything, so I wanted to take some time here to really talk about Ryan Poehling in depth. Quick shout out to a few other people who have made videos about Poehling. I know O Nyquist has a really prominent video on his thoughts on the matter, but Poehling is a Montreal Canadiens prospect. I'll still call him a prospect. He only played one NHL game, so he's a prospect. Drafted in the 2017 NHL entry draft at the end of the first round, 25th overall by the Habs. He's a player that I remember upon being first selected, a lot of Habs fans were kind of saying, okay, who? Why did we take this guy? There were other guys available like Morgan Frost and Shane Bowers and Eli Tolvanen. There were a lot of prominent players available in that range that the Habs did not take, and they took Poehling instead. I do remember the somewhat outcry that aspired out of that situation, but fast forward 2 years and Ryan Poehling is now a top NHL prospect for the Habs. 20 years of age, 6'2", 185 pounds as a center. He played his most recent hockey at St. Cloud State University in the NCAA, and he's had a pretty good career so far. He did play his draft year in that NCAA organization, posting 13 points in 35 games, so a lot of people were kind of looking at that and saying, okay, we passed up on Morgan Frost for this guy, but a few years later, and Ryan Poehling is coming off of 2 back-to-back 31-point seasons in 36 games played. Not to mention his incredible World Juniors this past season, 8 points, 7 games played, and he was just all over the place. He was the best forward of the tournament, he was the MVP of the tournament, he was the best player on his team, and he was named to the All-Star team as well. Not to mention being named to the first All-Star team in his own NCAA conference as well. Ryan Poehling did have an incredible year this season. As I said, 31 points, 8 goals, 23 assists in 36 games, not to mention his 4-time putting the puck in the net for the Montreal Canadiens, scoring a hat trick and a shootout goal. So, what exactly is it that I'm expecting, and what do I think is the ceiling for a guy like Ryan Poehling? Well, just to be clear here at the very beginning, Ryan Poehling was drafted 25th overall. The likelihood of getting a quote-unquote elite first-line player at 25th overall is slim, and I don't think that's what the Habs got with their pick here. I don't think Ryan Poehling is going to be an elite first-line center, however, I do see Ryan Poehling maxing out as a really solid top 6 guy. A guy who could play the penalty kill, the power play, and have some really good defensive zone draws at his own end. Ryan Poehling is so renowned for his defensive game and his play away from the puck, because he's safe, he makes the right decisions, and he's good at forcing guys to make bad decisions. With that being said though, Ryan Poehling is not the most physical, nor is he the most dominant force out there on the ice. When he has the puck, he's able to find space for himself, take shots, and dish out some really nifty passes. If he finds himself away from the puck too, he's good at finding the open areas and slotting in accordingly. That's how he was able to get himself his 3 goals with the Montreal Canadiens, and combined with his pretty solid puck skills and shooting abilities, he was able to get a shootout goal as well. So Poehling is a player who's got a lot of talent, but not necessarily a guy with an incredibly high ceiling. Now I could sit here and joke around and say, oh, Poehling got 3 goals in 1 NHL game. That means when he steps into the NHL next season, he's gonna play 82 games and he's gonna get 246 goals. Heck yes, baby. Mark it right here. That's what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. So, Poehling, realistically to me, in his freshman debut year with the Montreal Canadiens, I could easily see him getting upwards of 15 plus goals. I wouldn't be surprised if he got 20. But Poehling to me is not a guy who's got that ceiling of being a 35, 40 goal player. I don't see him as a 60, 70, 80 point guy. I see him more as a player kind of like a Ryan Kessler-like. A really solid defensively sound two-way guy who can hound on players away from the puck and who has probably a lower offensive ceiling than Kessler did. Because Kessler did get 40 goals in 1 year, I don't personally believe that Poehling's offensive stock is that valuable, but it wouldn't surprise me if in his prime, Poehling is a guy who consistently gets up to 25 goals and maybe hits 30 once in a while, and someone with a consistent 30 assist effort as well. So, Poehling, to me, honestly, his value lies in what he brings outside of the offensive game. Just being able to shut guys down, be a valuable penalty killer, and a strong defensive presence. I think that's the most valuable thing that the Habs could use right now, because we do have a lot of really good offensively skilled players in the Habs depth chart. Guys like Suzuki, guys like Ilonen, guys like Cole Caulfield are all fantastically amazing offensive forces, and Ryan Poehling is not necessarily that, but he provides value in other aspects of the game that some other prospects don't have. So that's what Poehling is to me. A really solid top 6 guy, a guy who could probably play first-line minutes once in a while, but who won't dazzle you away with amazing deking abilities and 60, 70, 80 point seasons. I can see him just getting below that, but it would really surprise me, and frankly, I'd be very much welcoming if he did get more points than that, but that's personally what the ceiling is to me. He will be in the NHL, and he will be a really solid player. It's just that the offensive spotlight will be shined on other guys around the prospect pool. Comment down below what you think, if you agree with me or disagree with me, if you think Poehling is going to be the next Gretzky. Comment down below and tell me why I am wrong. Hope you enjoyed this video. Social 99, and bye.